Jai friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. But all these Lahoris gave permissions to Chinese fishermen, and Chinese fishermen with their fancy new boats came and they picked up all the fishes, and the Baloch fishermen are dying hungry, and that is what the agitation is all about in the recent time. Far better than any of us how to play this game, but anyway, it's a great honor for the Prime Minister, for Indians, that he's going, and we wish the Prime Minister all the very best. Jai friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now, there is news coming in from Israel, and let me read it out to you first. The news from Israel says that Israel is set to bring 10,000 Indian laborers for jobs traditionally held by Palestinians. Now, Israel is getting 10,000 workers from India to replace Palestinians who were initially, doing all sorts of jobs, but the problem between the Israelis and the Palestinians, and there are lots of issues. There have been lots of shootings and bombings in the past, and you don't know who from Palestine is coming into Israel and doing what. It's difficult to be 100% sure. So I'm sure that 90% of all the Palestinians who are coming just want to earn for their families. I'm sure about that. But even 10% who get through, who are like Hamas or Hezbollah, can cause a great deal of damage to Israel. Now, we expect the agreements to be approved shortly. We will soon be able to start setting up the necessary mechanisms to employ skilled labor in a proper and supervised manner, the Israeli Ministry of Population and Immigration said. So, essentially, what's going to happen is that Dr. Jaishankar, he has signed an agreement with Eli Cohen, the Israeli minister, and they're saying that basically jobs in construction and nursing industries are going to go to Indians. So 10,000 Palestinians stand to lose their jobs, and 10,000 Indians will now work in Israel. Now, there are 2-3 things. Traditionally, Indians have largely gone, to Europe, to America, but mostly to Gulf, Middle East countries, Gulf countries, UAE, Saudi Arabia, etc., where they've gone and earned money. And a lot of these states in India, right, have what you call the money order economy, which means that they go and send money inside. For example, Kerala. Kerala is a great example of exporting high-grade manpower. So Kerala has a lot of educated people, and they work. A lot of nurses from Kerala, a lot of other people who are in clerical jobs, and of course CEOs of companies also. Of course, PhDs, professors also from Kerala. The entire spectrum. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm saying Kerala is that Kerala has 100% literacy. And this is something that is valued all over the world. So, right from clerk to construction workers, to nurses, to doctors, to top surgeons, to CEOs, right? From the guy who drives a forklift, the Keralite, who drives a forklift, to the CEO of the company who manufactures the forklift. You understand the ecosystem that Kerala has created, all because of education. All because there is nothing else. It's all education. It's all brain power. And the rest, of course, Kerala has tourism and Kerala has so many other things, but that is domestic. I'm talking about export of manpower. And when you see this export of manpower, it's all because of brain power. So like I said, from the guy who drives the forklift, to the guy who's the CEO of the company that manufactures the forklift. From the guy who's working at the airport to the guy who's running the airport as the chief executive officer of the entire airport. Kerala has exported manpower of various levels, from nurses, right? And to the junior medical workers, to the top surgeons, neurosurgeons, cardiac surgeons, CEOs of hospitals. Kerala has that entire ecosystem in place. And this is the power of education. So now people from India are going to go and work in Israel. Israel is a friendly country. It's a lovely country where Indians can expect to feel at home. And I think this speaks about growing ties between India and Israel. Political, diplomatic and economic ties between India and Israel. I think it's fantastic. So initially 10,000. Okay, here is another thing that initially 10,000 will go, but the overall agreement is for 42,000 Indians. So that is the first news article. That's the latest. 10,000 will go initially. The total, this thing is for the total contract or the total agreement, I should say, between our Ministry of External Affairs and theirs is for 42,000 Indians. So in total of 42,000 Indian workers, skilled, highly skilled, will go to Israel and work there. Great. Now, coming back to our favorite topic of Pakistan, Abdul Qudus Bizenjo. Abdul Qudus Bizenjo is, the Chief Minister of Balochistan, and he says that 10 billion Pakistani rupees were promised. Because of floods, they collected money and they begged money from all over the world and said, Pakistan has got floods and please give us money. Come on, please give us money. Everybody be generous, be kind. Write these massive checks. So all these checks came to Pakistan and Pakistan made billions and billions of rupees. Pakistani rupees. Not 1 rupee was given to Balochistan. Now, Mr. Bizenjo, who's the Chief Minister of Balochistan, is heard loudly complaining that not 1 rupee has been given. 10 billion was promised. 10 billion rupees was promised to Balochistan as flood relief, but not 1 rupee was given. I'd just like to ask Mr. Bizenjo, when was the last time Balochistan was given anything by Pakistani Punjab? When was the last time? When do you remember the last time Lahore actually gave you anything? They will never give you anything. Get used to it. They will take from you. They will take the gas from Sui gas pipelines. They'll take your mineral wealth, right? Even if you have solar panels placed there, they will take the electricity back to Punjab. They will sell your fishes and your seafood to the Chinese. Which is why that Maulvi, Hidayatul Rahman or Hidayatullah or something like that Maulvi who was protesting there for a very long time, who was imprisoned and then set free. He was complaining about all the stealing of, the marine life or the fishes that were traditionally the sustenance of Baloch fishermen. But all these Lahoris gave permissions to Chinese fishermen. And Chinese fishermen with their fancy new boats came and they picked up all the fishes. And the Baloch fishermen are dying hungry. And that is what the agitation is all about in the recent times, the 1.5, 2 years, ever since they built Gwadar. They made it operational last few years. This is what has been happening. So, for Bizenjo, the Chief Minister of Balochistan, to complain, they have not given me anything. They have not given 1 rupee. Please don't talk about what Lahore has given you. I'm not saying Islamabad here. I'm deliberately saying Lahore. I'm deliberately saying Lahore, knowing fully well that the masters sit in Islamabad. I'm saying Lahore because Lahori Churan, Lahori is a state of mind. A Lahori can be in London. He can be in Canada. A Lahori can be in Washington, D.C. He will remain a Lahori throughout his life. His attitude will remain Lahori. And that is a grab all mentality. Take everything. Give nothing. Just keep on grabbing. This is what you're victim of actually in Balochistan. So, this is the news from Pakistan, and also China warning that NATO-like alliances could lead to conflict in Asia Pacific. Wow. Chinese Defense Minister warned on June 4th against establishing NATO-like military alliances in Asia Pacific, saying that they would plunge the region into a whirlpool of conflict. Li Shangfu's comments came a day after US and Chinese military vessels sailed close to each other in the Flashpoint Taiwan Strait, an incident that provoked anger from both sides. Attempt to push for NATO-like alliances in the Asia Pacific is a way of kidnapping regional countries and exaggerating conflicts and confrontation, Mr. Lee told a security conference in Singapore, also attended by US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. I'll tell you what. America, you've clearly lost the plot. Let me be honest here. You've lost the plot, okay? And the Chinese are pushing. The Chinese will, sometimes make statements that make them look statesman-like, all right? They will say stuff that makes them look, that they want peace and they're actually leaders. The thing is that they are pushing towards a confrontation. And you know why the Chinese are doing it? Not because the Chinese are brave. Not because the Chinese are not afraid of confrontation or of body bags. They're doing it because you are cowards. Ever since America capitulated, America collapsed like a house of cards in Afghanistan, it sent a very wrong message across the world that you can take America for granted. You can take the United States of America for granted. You can do whatever they wish. And all America will do is, stumble and fumble. And this is what the Chinese are taking advantage of. You send a ship, the Chinese will, they will bring their vessel very close to yours, almost as if they're on collision course. You send your fighter jet, the Chinese fighters will come so close that you'll get scared. These are Chinese tactics. All you need to do is this. Blow a couple of Chinese vessels out of the water and blow a couple of Chinese planes out of the air. and there will be peace between America and China. The Chinese have not seen combat, have not seen war in a very, very long time. Right? It's almost 40 years that China has not seen war. The last time they went was in Vietnam. They went in 1979. If I'm not mistaken, they went to Vietnam and they got a thrashing. The Vietnamese thrashed them. Well, the Vietnamese have thrashed the Americans also, so no surprises there. But the fact of the matter is that, the Chinese got a thrashing. The Chinese don't want a physical confrontation, but they know that you are scared. And if you're scared, they will keep on pushing. Unless America pushes back, and I'm telling you, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. The Westerners, tend to look at China through a Western lens. They don't understand the Chinese mind. They don't understand the Oriental mind. They don't understand the Eastern mind. This is posturing and positioning that China is doing. When China came to Galwan, China did not come to fight the Indian army. It came to position. It came to posture. And that is all that it did. And when the Indian army responded, right, there has been peace on the line of actual control. Today, I would like to tell the Americans something. And if you're listening, I don't know if you are, but if you are listening to this video of mine, you're seeing this video, let me tell you the story of General Sagat Singh and 1967, that skirmish with the Chinese in Nathula. We fought a war with the Chinese in 1962 and we were defeated. The Chinese won that war. India was defeated in that war. But let me tell you, India had started making preparations. And all we needed was an opportunity. The Chinese tried their tricks again in 1967. They told Indian soldiers, vacate this territory, this is our territory. Vacate this territory, this is our territory. They kept on repeating it day in and day out, day in and day out. And once the Chinese soldiers, after a hard day's work, were strolling several kilometers inside their own territory, they were strolling in a marketplace. And General Sagat Singh, Lieutenant General Sagat Singh of the Indian Army, he told his artillery, finish the Chinese. The artillery opened up. Hundreds of Chinese soldiers died in that marketplace. After that, China did not fight with India. For the next 50 years, China just kept quiet. We have done it. We have done it in the past. And this I would like to tell even our present dispensation in India. I would like to tell the current government. China will not stop coming into India or trying to enter India. They will not stop. Our soldiers have stopped them at the border time and again, but Chinese will not stop trying. It is Sikkim today, it is Arunachal tomorrow, it's Ladakh the third day, it is Uttarakhand the fourth day. On the fifth day, it is going to be Himachal Pradesh. All these five states, union territories where there is the line of actual control, they will keep on pushing. They will keep on testing for weaknesses. The Chinese will keep on doing that. You will spend billions of dollars trying to stop the Chinese at the line of actual control. And this I'm saying to the Americans also. You'll spend billions of dollars trying to counter the Chinese. Just finish off a few. We have done it in the past. Lieutenant General Sagat Singh has done it in the past. He has done it and he has shown us a roadmap. You finish off the Chinese, they'll be quiet for the next 30, 40 years. And the way to do it is very simple. Next time a Chinese ship comes close to an American ship, just sink the Chinese ship. Just sink it. What is China going to do? Fire nuclear weapons at the US? I don't think so. There'll be a lot of noise. There'll be a lot of rhetoric. There'll be a lot of fire and brimstone and fireworks in the sky, and we'll do this. And we have a missile called Dragon, and we have got another missile called Big Dragon and Little Dragon and Fat Dragon and Thin Dragon and Obese Dragon, and all the dragons are going to come and fall on Washington and New York and Chicago. But that's all rhetoric. You've got to understand the Chinese mind. General Sagat Singh clearly did. And this is what I want to tell even the Indian government. We are going to spend billions of dollars and we don't have a bigger checkbook than China. Let's face it. China is economically far more powerful. But next time the Chinese come, tell the Indian army to open fire. And while the Indian army is opening fire, and when the Chinese come to pick up the bodies, beam it live across the world. Beam it live. Have television cameras there. Just finish off 100, 200 of them. And I'm telling you, trust you me, there will be peace along the line of control. The Chinese only understand the language of violence and as an Indian Army officer, I can tell you this. If there is one organization in the world that can speak the language of violence flawlessly, it is the Indian Army. Give the orders to the Indian Army, they'll lay waste a Chinese battalion. Finish off one Chinese battalion, hand to hand. I'm telling you, and I'm not overstating our case. Man to man, you fight where you're stronger. Man to man, the Chinese are no match. Just finish the Chinese and they will not come. Remember, always remember, one man, Lieutenant General Sagat Singh, hammered the life out of the Chinese in 1967. They're the same Chinese. And I'm saying this both to the government of the US and the government of India. You hammered them in the seas, we'll hammer the Chinese in the Himalayas. They won't know what hit them. The Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will address a joint session of US Congress on June 22nd. And the Prime Minister of India is also, he is the 7th Prime Minister of India to address this joint session of Congress, the 7th, and the first one to address it twice. He's done it once before. Now he's doing it for the second time, the first Indian Prime Minister. And I think globally he's the 4th or 5th. I'm not very sure, but he's, I think, the 4th or the 5th who has been given this rare honor of doing it twice. And so he's going to do it twice on June 22nd. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell, and House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries have together sent an invitation. You can see this invitation, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, which means that obviously it's the Congress, so it's bipartisan, and both the parties, the Democratic Party and the Republicans have both gotten together and welcomed Prime Minister Modi. And they say that we have shared values with India. We're both democracies. The largest democracy in the world, the greatest democracy in the world. Come, let's get together and tell us what your vision is for India and for the world. And this is a great opportunity, not just for Prime Minister Modi, but all of India, to show the world that, we can get along, we can partner with each other. And when the need arises, we can jointly face enemies. But I would like the Indian leadership to remember one thing, and you know this far, far better than me. Far, far better than me. You know this. And I repeat this, I always have the Americans in mind when I mention this saying. So ladies and gentlemen, I always say this, and I'll say this again, beware of Greek carrying gifts. There's nothing called a free lunch. Whenever the Americans call, wherever the Americans seem generous, there is always a hook. And I'm very sure that a person of the stature of Dr. S. Jaishankar or Prime Minister Modi will be mindful of this. And of course, they know far better than I do, or far better than any of us, how to play this game. But anyway, it's a great honor for the Prime Minister, for Indians, that he's going, and we wish the Prime Minister all the very best. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.